What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Super excited for this one because we will be installing the steering stabilizer from Scott's on the CRF 2009 450X. So this bike is a desert ready bike and we take this out desert racing, and the one thing that I'm missing that I can't believe I haven't installed yet is the steering stabilizer from Scott's. So I'm going to go ahead. The package has been open. I actually haven't pulled anything out, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what's inside the package, and then we will quickly go through how to install, what are the things that you could cheat, and then just going over the installation process, and then maybe take it out for a quick spin. So let's check it out. So here we got some clear instructions. I've been going through those. We have the sub mount. So the stabilizer will go under the handlebars. There's a upper mount where the stabilizer goes above the handlebars. Pretty cool. They throw in some stickers, so we're going to throw those on the bike. Got a super good deal with this steering stabilizer. Okay, notice, don't need that. And then here she is, the little bling bling that's going to be going, I believe, like so. So we'll have our low speed and high speed compression, and then our sweep adjustments here. So I'm going to go ahead and call Scott's once we finish installing this on what is the best way, what are the best settings for desert racing. So let's go check it out. Let me put these parts out on the table. All right, guys, well, I have all of the parts pulled out of the box, and you can see here some hardware for the mounting. Check this out. This is a BRP sub mount that we got. So essentially our stabilizer will fit in here while our handlebars are on top. Really nice machine piece here. It's all black. It's going to match really nice with the handlebars. This is the Scott steering stabilizer. I love the look. It's super clean. Gives the, it's just a really, really, really nice piece. And then here's the collar where essentially that will fit through here, and any movement with the handlebars, this steering stabilizer will be able to dampen that. So this is a super important setup, especially for desert racers. You see a lot of the Baja racers using these, so it prevents head shake, and if you've ever had that, you know what I'm talking about. It's gnarly. So we're going to go ahead and fit this up on the bike. All right, guys, well, we have the bike on the stand here, easy access, and then we're able to close the garage just in case we don't finish it today. So make sure you have everything laid out here. You don't want to mess up any steps. First thing we did was remove this bar pad mount. So based on the instructions, which I am going to follow, the first step is removing the number plate bolts. So we're going to take that off, and then you see on the 09s, I think 09 and earlier, they came with this factory Honda Showa stabilizer. So we're going to go ahead and take that off. We're not going to be needing that anymore. After that, we're going to go ahead and loosen these four bolts that hold the handlebars tight. So we're going to loosen them. We're not going to take them off. And then we're going to remove the 17mm nuts on the underside of the triple clamp, holding the entire bar clamp assembly. We have most of the disassembly process done. So you can see the first thing I did was take off the number plate with the headlight. Quick connection there, that comes off easily. And then we went ahead and removed the stock steering dampener. So if you guys didn't know, Showa actually came out with these bikes, I think starting in 2009, these Showa stabilizers. Honestly, they're crap. They don't really do anything unless you're on a motocross track, maybe. And then the next thing we did was we took out the bar clamps that I had there previously. So you could see mine, I had to twist out and then hit with the hammer a little bit, but those should come out no problem. We're going to want to make sure that we know where all the wires are going. So I don't think that should be a problem. And then the next thing we did was loosen up these pinch bolts for the upper triple clamp. So I believe once we loosen up this main bolt here, this assembly should all come right out. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so we have that part of the process done. So we went ahead and removed the 32mm head bolt. Once I removed that, I removed the bolts from the triple clamp, and then this slides right off. You might need a rubber mallet just to get it started, but it should come off. I struggled a little bit, and then you do have to take off everything that is pretty much clamped onto the triple clamp. So for example, these mounts here, those mounts right there, so that's for, I guess, the clutch and the electrical assembly. So pretty much just get the handle bars out of the way here, and what you will do now is the installation process. So we're going to go ahead and remove this pinch bolt here, and the instructions claim that this just slides on like so. It's a really tight fit, but with the screwdriver you're going to want to pry this a little bit open and it should fall right in there. So we're going to go ahead and try that out and see what happens here. So quick note before we start, if you could see the grooves there on this stabilizer mount, and you see the grooves there, that's supposed to slide in perfectly with those mounts. So you can see I'm going to stick this screwdriver and pry this a little bit open, and then we're going to go ahead and line this up perfectly. This is a crucial step, so you don't want to mess this part up. Alright guys, well, I am trying to put this piece on. I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling a little bit. It's a really tight fit, and I almost got it on, but this bracket here for this oversized gas tank is in the way. So let's see if we can try and move this out of the way a little bit so we can install it without having this issue right here. Okay guys, so we finally got this on. I was able to lift this gas tank up, loosen the bolt underneath that holds the oversized gas tank, and then this was able to slide up a little bit because it's loose. So I had to pry this open so you could see how big the gap is for it to slide all the way in, and I tapped it with a rubber mallet so you could see it's all flush. And then I also went ahead, put some electrical tape on this T-handle, and then tapped it all the way around with the rubber mallet on top. And so now we're flush, and I will take you guys to the next step. I'm gonna go ahead and put just light grease around all of these fittings. This is going to get torqued down to 8 to 9 foot-pounds, so it's not a lot of torque there. With the Scott's sub mount, you get these two cones. Now these two cones will go underneath the triple clamp, so not up here, but it will go on the bottom, and that's so that this clamp will fit and clear on your bike. So if you don't do that step and you put them up here, your installation is wrong. So I'll be using the stock domes to go onto the new BRP Scott's mount here. So make sure you clean your stuff up. This was a little bit tricky, but it looks like we're seated around there quite well. So we're going to go ahead and install the stock domes and then put the stock triple clamp back on. Okay guys, so we have the triple clamp back on. We slid this on, and then like I said before, I'm not sure, hopefully you could see, but we're using the Scott's hardware for the dampeners here that go and hold the bar clamps here. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're tightening this up. Mine is 80 foot-pounds first, and then you're tightening up the pinch bolts for the forks, and these are, I believe, 16 foot-pounds each. So we're going to go ahead, tighten that up, and then we'll follow and do the bar clamps. So you want to make sure that this is flush as well. You don't want to be tightening this up and then tightening this up, this head bolt, because then you're going to bind and do some funny stuff there. So do the head bolt first, then the pinch bolts on the side for the triple clamps, and then you're pretty much all done for this part of the assembly. So now it's pretty easy. We're just going to go ahead, bolt everything back together, and then hopefully everything so far has been fitting perfectly. So you can see here there's a super tiny gap and it's not hitting at all. You can see like there's barely any space there. So that's like machined perfectly. Pretty wild how this stuff gets put together. All right, so now everything is pretty much on. So we have this torque down, 16, 9, 80. We have the mount on, so we're going to go ahead and put the handlebars back on the bike. Okay, so now that we have our bars back on the bike, you see this tower pin. So we're going to go ahead, the instructions clearly say make sure that this is greased up in the tower pin. So this section here, I'm going to throw a little bit of grease on the bottom too. It won't hurt. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. So I'm just using some of this Maxima grease. I use this pretty much on everything. Really good stuff. Highly recommend Maxima waterproof grease going on that little tower pin right there. All right guys, so just a quick little tip here. So I have the stabilizer on the mounts, and you can see this tower pin is greased, so I'm hoping this can focus up a little bit. But that tower pin has to be in a good middle position with the stabilizer, so that looks good right there. And this collar is pretty much what holds this tower pin from adjusting up or down. So if I go up any higher, I think I could probably go a little bit higher, but you don't want it at the very tippy top, because then your stabilizer won't work. So essentially you could see now I have to tighten the stabilizer itself. So that's just a quick little tip for you guys there. Make sure that this tower pin is somewhere in the middle with a good balance on either side, and you can adjust this. Well, I have the number plate back on. I went ahead and torqued down the these bottom bolts to hold the bracket assembly, 32 foot-pounds. I'm just finishing up some of the other bolts, so when this oversized gas tank, tighten this up to my liking. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the bars. So the bars do come up 1 inch, and then man, this stuff is like crazy. So you could feel the dampening just right there, and when it releases, boom. So it's pretty crazy. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Yeah, I guess there isn't much else to say. Gotta clean up this mess, and we'll catch you guys in the next clip. All right guys, it's the next day here. Yesterday was a long day. I had a ton of stuff to do, but anyways, wanted to wrap this video up. Everything is complete on this Scott stabilizer sub mount assembly. So we have everything torqued down, everything buttoned up. The bars, we'll go ahead and ride with them and then adjust them in case we don't like the feel or anything. So these do get raised about 1 inch. These are the BRP sub mounts that come with the Scott stabilizer. When you select this mounting option, and it uses an oversized bar, so I was able to use my stock bars. I was able to use my Pro Taper bars that I bought, so you can see it's the CR Highs. Really enjoy this bar setup. If you have stock bars, you're either going to need to get adjusters to fit in these oversized clamps, but you might as well just upgrade to oversized bars because in my opinion they're better and stronger. So really clean setup here with the sub mounting location compared to the over the bars. You can see this is just a much cleaner look, and you're able to, you know, pretty much add a GPS or anything that you run on top of your handlebars. Very nice piece with the machine finish aluminum billet, matches well with the bars. And then a couple extra ending notes is in terms of hardware, I used all of the hardware that was provided. So in the instructions, it's a bit unclear. It says to use the washers. You don't have to use washers. So I went ahead and used the nut that they provided and the washer that they provided. So like I said in the past clip, this is the cone from Scott's. The stock one is a little bit wider, so I'm assuming it makes contact with this mounting location. And then I used the stock cones for this side. And then also for the head bolt, I did use the washer. So you just want to make sure that nothing is touching or anything is binding up with any of the mechanical stuff or even your cables. So this does come up an inch, so you want to make sure nothing is really tugging or pulling on your cables when you're so like you can see this one's a little tight. We're gonna see what we do about that when you're turning both like the handlebars left or right. So check it out, really nice setup here. Can't wait to try this thing out. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying this content. Just wanted to do a quick video. Couldn't really find a video of someone installing this on a CRF 450X. So a bunch of the guys are running this. I'm sure Scott's has this down to a science. So we're gonna go ahead and run this the way it comes from Scott's. We're gonna take it out for a ride, hit some whips, hit some long washes, and then see how she handles, and if we need to make any adjustments to the high speed or low speed or even the sweep, we'll make those adjustments. But thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have a ton more content coming out. And then if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. Let me know if you guys are running the setup and what works for you guys out in the desert or in different terrains. And then we will catch you guys later in the next video. Peace.